Hello and welcome to Rising Dust Ep01, a series of training videos to help you become more successful in Dust514. I'm Pokey Draven, and today we're going back to basics with character creation, the Neocom, game settings, and the communication system. This is a great place to start if you're new to Dust or just looking for a refresher, so let's get started. This is the character select screen. As you can see, each PSN account can have 3 Dust characters on it at a time. However, experience in Dust is a little bit different than what you're probably used to. Like most games, your Dust characters will gain experience as they fight in battle. However, Dust characters also gain a passive experience that accumulates slowly over time. Unfortunately, this passive experience can only be applied to one of your 3 characters per account. So if you're looking to make an alternate character, I do suggest you make a separate PSN account and create your alt on there. To create a character, simply move your cursor over to an open slot and press X. The first choice you're presented with is what gender you want your character to be. Gender is a purely aesthetic choice and has zero effect on gameplay, but do remember that all these choices you make during character creation cannot be changed at a later time, so choose wisely. Next, you need to pick what race you want for your character. Race is primarily for role-playing purposes and has nearly no effect on gameplay. Now I said nearly no effect because your character's race does affect what starter suit you get. Starter suits are pre-fit drop suits that cost no in-game currency and have unlimited uses. There is some debate on which race's starter suits are the best. However, they are all fit with the worst gear in the game, and while they are good for saving money in your early days as a Merc, you'll want to upgrade to something better fairly quickly. Race has zero effect on what skills and weapons you can use. Picking one race over another will not hinder your character's progression in any way, so read through each of them and pick the one you like the most. Next comes Bloodline. This is completely for role-playing purposes and has zero effect on gameplay, so just read through them and pick your favorite. And finally, your character name. Keep in mind that this name will be used for everything you do in Dust, so choose wisely because it cannot be changed later. After that, confirm that all your information is correct and hit confirm. When you do create a character, be sure to check that the passive experience gain is activated for the character you want. Also, you can delete your character from the same screen. However, keep in mind that there is a 10-hour delay before you can finalize the deletion. This is the Neocom, the central hub to nearly every feature you may need in Dust. It can be accessed at any time while in your Merc quarters by pressing L1. For now, we're just going to briefly go over these features, but we'll go into more detail in later episodes. The Battle Finder is where you go to search for available contracts to fight in. Initially, you will only have access to the Academy, a special game mode for new players. More advanced game modes are unlocked as you progress, but we will go over those in a later episode. The Squad Finder allows you to search for available squads. Most are public, however, some will be restricted to your corporation or alliance. We will go over how to create your own squad later on in this episode. This is the star map. Currently we are inside a space station located in a specific location within the EVE Online universe. In fact, you are able to see what your current location is at any time by looking in the upper left-hand corner of your screen while in your Merc quarters. EVE pilots can actually fly to the exact same station and walk around in captain's quarters much like we are now. This map is important because it gives us a sense of location as well as the current level of faction control in the area. We can even zoom into the individual planets we are fighting on to get a better idea of the kind of environment we'll be dealing with. This is the character sheet. It displays a basic overview of your character, such as name, corporation, PSN ID, currency, total experience, and your kill-death ratio. The Augmentations menu displays the current status of your boosters, which accelerate experience and loyalty point gain. Boosters can be purchased with Aurum, which is available for purchase either in-game or through the PSN store. The Standings menu tracks your current standing with various factions. Standings are tied to faction warfare, a more advanced game mode we will cover in a different episode. This is the skill menu. As you can see, it is a rather deep and intricate system that is too complicated to get into right now. We will cover this in detail in a future episode. Your wallet tracks how many interstellar credits, or ISK, that you earn or spend. These are the recent updates, and it is the screen you will see when you log in from now on. It tracks new mail messages, current experience, and ISK, as well as the status of your boosters. Also notice that there is an experience bonus that increases for every consecutive day that you log in. At maximum bonus, the amount of bonus experience is equivalent to 25% of your daily passive experience gain. You can also see some of the most popular items that are currently being sold on the market. These are the fitting menus for both dropsuits and vehicles. These are complicated systems that we will have a dedicated episode for later on. This is the marketplace where you purchase all of your equipment and weapons you need for battle. The Asset tab is a list of all the weapons, equipment, and gear that you currently have stored in your inventory. The Chat tab opens up your Communications menu. This can also be accessed at any time by pressing the Select button. You can also access your contacts, mail, and the leaderboards from the Social tab. The Corporation menu displays information about the corporation you are currently in. Currently this character is in a default NPC corp, but I highly suggest you try and find a player-run corp as soon as possible. There are plenty of recruitment threads available on the official Dust forums, and of course my corporation is always looking for new recruits to train. You can find these links in the description below. The search feature will also allow you to find corporations in-game, and for the ambitious ones you can create your own corporation. Keep in mind, however, that you will need to train special corporate skills and pay an ISK fee if you want to create a corporation. And lastly, the Logout button and the Options menu. Logging out will return you to the Character Select screen. However, let's go over the system settings now. This is the audio menu. The first thing you should do is confirm that the voice chat is set to on, and that the push-to-talk setting is set to whatever your personal preference is. The push-to-talk button is right on the D-pad. However, keep in mind that this will not work if you have any menus open or if you are in a loading screen. Dust supports the DualShock 3, PlayStation Move, as well as mouse and keyboard. All of these tutorials will assume that you are using the DualShock 3, so use these menus if you need clarification on what the equivalent button is if you're using an alternative controller. Most of these settings can be kept as default, however, I do suggest you confirm that your battle server is set to your current region. Finally, if you need help or would like to watch one of the opening cinematics, access it through the Help tab. But for now, let's take a look around the Merc quarters. Your character will return to the Merc quarters after every battle, and the appearance of your quarters is determined by the race of your character. As I said before, we are currently on a space station in the EVE universe, and as you can see, one of my EVE characters is walking around that very same station. While this may not mean much right now, as Dust characters and their assets are transported automatically between battles, location will be very important as more EVE integration is added and Dust Mercs will become more reliant on EVE players. As you walk around your Merc quarters, you will see that many of the systems available through the Neocom are also available through the terminals scattered around your room. You will, however, have to manually track how many laps you do around your couch. Laugh now, but we all start doing it eventually, and anyone who says they don't is a liar. Now let's go over the Communications menu. Open the menu by pressing Select. Notifications are alerts for new mail, squad invites, or chat room invites, as well as new contact additions. Local chat allows you to speak with Dust players as well as EVE players that are in the same system as you. Keep in mind that if any given chat room has too many people in it, their names will not show up until they actually say something, so don't be afraid to speak up in local, even if it looks empty. Corp Chat is a chat room that is reserved solely for fellow Corp members. Also, if your corporation is part of an alliance, there will be an alliance chat as well. Also note that the push-to-talk feature can be turned on or off from this menu. You can also join your current squad's chat by selecting Squad. If you're not in a squad, this is where you create a new one. Squads consist of 6 players, and players can be invited in a number of ways. Select an open slot to invite a player from your contact list. You can also select a player's name from any chat room and select the Invite to Squad option. You can also create or join custom chat rooms by selecting the plus mark. Keep in mind that some chat rooms will require a password in order to join. If you have your voice chat turned on, and you should, the green light on the channel tab indicates the voice chat for that channel is turned on. Selecting the chat tab will allow you to turn off the voice chat in that channel or change to a different channel. Squad settings allow you to edit how your squad appears in the Squad Finder. The visibility setting modifies who can join your squad. Private only allows you to invite people. Corporate allows anyone from your corp to join. Alliance allows anyone from your alliance to join, and public is open to anyone. Again, you can invite from your contacts list, and also search for new contacts from the same menu. Locking your squad will prevent random players from filling empty slots during a battle. This can be particularly important if you need to keep voice chat confidential within the squad. You can also leave the squad at any time by selecting the Squad tab and going to Leave Squad. Well, that about covers everything you need to know about the basic user interface. Next episode, we'll go over the battle types in detail so you can get a better idea of what you need to do once you drop to the planet. I'd also like to take this time to stress the importance of finding a corporation willing to help you learn the game and play with you regularly. Any gear or skill disadvantage you experience in Dust will be greatly diminished if you're running with a group of people who know what they're doing. Playing as a team is going to give you a much better experience in Dust, so I strongly recommend it. Also, there's one more thing. Dust is a cruel and harsh game. You will not find any hand-holding here. You will face opponents much stronger and more experienced than you on a daily basis. It's going to be tough. It's going to be hard. It's going to be frustrating, and sometimes it's just going to royally suck. However, if you stick with it, if you keep fighting and struggling, you will be rewarded in the end. Pretty soon, you'll find yourself dying less, killing more, winning more contracts, and losing less often. Dust is not a game for those of you who give up when you get your ass kicked. Dust is for those who are willing to suffer, endure, adapt, and survive. This is not Call of Duty. This is not Battlefield. Dust is what you make of it, and perhaps a little of what it makes of you. Remember that the greatest rewards are won through hardship. If you want anything in the world of New Eden, you're going to have to fight for it. You're going to have to earn it. Now's the time to rise or fall. And remember, drop fast, drop hard. Good luck, Mercs.